Hey everybody. So I was watching some old videos that I had done back in 2016 and I named them saltwater etching. And yet when I went to watch them, there was no saltwater etching going on in them. And so I thought I better do the video. I don't know what happened to it. I think when I got a new phone it deleted. So I couldn't just upload that one. So we're going to do it again today. I'm not going to actually do it, but I'm going to show you all the things needed to do it and show you like the end result of what it would look like. All right. So first we're going to need 4 D batteries and one of these battery holders with wires, and they came all separate, and the alligator clips, they came separate too. And then even these little things here, they're separate as well. I went to Radio Shack, couldn't find them, and finally bought them on one of those like Amazon or something. And so the box here, 4D batteries, wire clips, red and black. Okay, so you need that. We have a plastic high-walled container. This is where you're gonna put your water and your salt. I got the canning salt, and you do 24 ounces of water to 6 ounces of salt. And you want to do warm water because it will actually dissolve the salt a little faster and work better. And then you need some type of resist. Now this is what I chose to use was the spray enamel. It's a matte tape, but you can use nail polish, white spray paint, well, any colored spray paint as long as it's like not translucent. You want something opaque. So and then what I did is I took my calligraphy and a scratch tool, and they go together pretty well. Look for my scratch tool. So I bought that off of Amazon as well. It's a scratch tool. It fits in the inside like that. And then you just scratch your design. Here we'll do some little circles. You try to do circle, scratch it to make it look starry. Alright, so little dots like that. Little dots like that, or anything, any design. You could do like any kind of like curve. You're just scratching the paint off where you want it to be etched. Okay? And then you put it in your water. You'll also need a large piece of copper like this, about the same size or larger than the piece that you're going to etch. It has to be on a little wire so you can connect the alligator clip to it. And there's a little note in here that says, okay, do not submerge the clips. The clip should be out of the water. Turn the batteries on, or the battery container on, which at the moment you put all the batteries in mine, it turns on. A good etching will take about 20 minutes, max. I've left mine for like an hour. Anyways, and you can check it every 3 to 5 minutes. Always turn off the batteries before touching anything. When you're done, the solution will be orange or green. Mine is always like a bluish green color, and it's not good for the environment, so you want to make sure that you're filtering out any of the filter the chemicals, you know, many times before you throw the liquid out. And don't throw it. I think you should just try to keep it, and that's why I don't do it a whole lot. I think you should try to keep it and let it evaporate on its own, kind of thing, because it's really bad for the environment having copper like that. It says it can be thrown away in the trash once it's dry because it is just copper. So I like to let mine dry until it's like a powder, and then I'll wipe it into the trash can. once it's all dry out of there. There was a part in here that I wanted to read. This is my notes on how to do it. The negative is always what you are not etching. So the negative is going to be on the large piece that I showed you here. The negative is going to be here on this one. The positive is always going to be on the one you're etching. Alright? And then this is what it looks like once you're done. Clean it up. I use nail polish to get that white off. And you can see how deep the etching is. I used it on the hands. And I used it in here as well. I just kind of like scratched. And then I did little lines to do that. And then I did lines there. And I did scratched lines here. And then I did the little starry looking circles there. It's pretty good depth. And that's what happens once you're done. And then you just let it, it's ready for designing and decorating. But I wanted to show you guys, oh, and so to get this etched, I started off with it like this. And then I took my thick copper wire, and I got this at a hobby store. It's in one of those many different sized rods, and I bent it into like a little hook. And then I took my black electric tape and I tried to get as close to it as I could, so I made sure it was all covered. And then that is where the alligator clip is going to clip to it. And yeah, so you can tell how it's been eaten up. It gets really thin, so you might want to have multiple of the rods ready, because this is just one of those times being in there. It just gets really thin and can break. Alright, and so I just used the electrical tape on that, holding it close to it as close as I can, and I covered the whole back with it, with the tape, and then I actually used the rivets because I couldn't get the solder to flow on how thick this piece is. This was a piece that I bought at one of those hobby stores, and when I got home I couldn't even, I mean, I cut it easily, but I could tell that it wasn't going to be something. It's like spring hard, and I don't use spring hard stuff, so I knew it was going to be something I haven't worked with before. I had a blade that cut it though, and I still wanted to use it, and I knew for sure that it would be thick enough to do some etching on. So if you just want to play around, you can find that thick copper sheet in the hobby stores where you find like the train stuff or the fake trees and all that stuff. That's where I found the copper pieces, and did the design. And the saltwater stuff is pretty much everything you have at home, except for maybe that battery thing. And I bought that on, like I said, Amazon. It came like in 2 days. So it's really fun. It's not very environmentally friendly stuff. You want to wash your hands good. I don't like to touch too much of it. I know it's just copper and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so I use gloves, and I try to be as careful as I can with all chemicals. And you don't want to breathe any of the fumes because it's bad for you. Okay, so you want to be well ventilated. And yeah, so this is what I did. This is my as above, so below pendant. I got a little riveted bail on here finally. And that'll be up in my Etsy shop. And so look for that. One of a kind. Don't know if I'll make another one. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope it was educational, as good as I could get it, without actually doing it, because I've done it many times and I really didn't feel like, you know, I had any projects to do just yet. I just finished this one and I want to actually patina it, so you'll get a look of that once it's done. Alright, have a great day, and subscribe. Thanks.